Goes up. Set to go now for race 2. Stand by, they're off and running, and Air Power began well on the inside. Satellite Genius, Limbs Ranger, is on the march early and now fires across in front of Satellite Genius and French Vintage, Dane's Anatomy. Next in the race was Django, but he's caught a bit wide from Musang King, Pure Rabbit between runners. Born a Fighter, Air Power's got a fair way back early, with Nasi Lamarck and Fantasos must be about 3 and 4 deep at the rear. Down the side with 1,000 metres to go, Limbs Ranger found the leader. From Satellite Genius and French Vintage is up to third. They were followed by Dane's Anatomy. Now working up closer, the outside of those was Born a Fighter, Django the centre. Then Pure Rabbit. They were followed by Fantasos, who has been scouting wide from the word go. Musang King. Then Nasi Lamarck, Snow Dancer. Not sure what's happening with Air Power, but she's dropped off about 5 lengths away. In the home straight, they race at the 600, and Limbs Ranger still the one to catch. But down the outside, Born a Fighter is about to raise an effort there with French Vintage in the all-white colours. Satellite Genius is whacking away, and Dane's Anatomy is staying on as well. They're across the track with about 250 metres left to go. It is Limbs Ranger, now tackled by Dane's Anatomy. Down the outside, French Vintage, and then came Satellite Genius. Limbs Ranger, Dane's Anatomy, dives to the inside, out wide French Vintage. Limbs Ranger now tackled by Dane's Anatomy, who's finishing it off a lot better. And Dane's Anatomy gets up to win from Limbs Ranger, and French Vintage ran third, fourth Satellite Genius. They were followed by Born a Fighter, then Django, Nasi Lamarck. They were followed by Pure Rabbit, Snow Dancer. Air Power was always well back in the run. And back with him was Musang King. So the Wong Kong Fat performer, Dane's Anatomy, has won the first. Number 3 will pay 70 for the win, 20 the place. Under Z Car Reel has got up to defeat number 8 Limbs Ranger, and also number 4 French Vintage. Once again, French Vintage had every possible chance. He was actually backed into with the odds-on favourite there at the finish, but Dane's Anatomy, who's got a pretty good record first up, has paid well on the tote. 70 for the win, 20 the place, defeats number 8 Limbs Ranger, who pays 15, and French Vintage, the race favourite, will pay 5. Number 9 Satellite Genius has run fourth, 384, and 9 are official. 3, 8, 4 and 9, I should say. 3, 8, 4, 9. Time and margins to come very soon. So Dane's Anatomy, who settled about midfield in the run. That's it in the blue jacket, yellow cap, who drew the centre of the line there. And Limbs Ranger was able to take it up soon after the start. Tried to lead all of the way, but was run down on the post by Dane's Anatomy, who was caught wide initially. Django and Fantasos covered a bit of territory. He was always caught off the track. French Vintage, every possible chance. Racing off the speed, was back in third spot at this stage. Born a Fighter was working forward. Dane's Anatomy racing about 5th on the inside. In fact, was 3 back along the inside and didn't go around a runner. So Z Car Reel gave it every possible chance. Air Power was disappointing. The mare failed to raise a gallop, and she was in a rearward position from the word go. The time, by the way, is 1:23.9. The margins are a half length by a half by a length and a quarter. Dane's Anatomy is an 8-year-old Bay of Brown gelding by Danehill Dancer from Anatomy, trained by KF Wong in EPO and ridden by Z Car Reel, owned by CL Uy. Second goes the way of number 8, and that is Limbs Ranger. Johnny Lim for the Lim stable and ridden by Zymudin. And third is number 4, French Vintage. Charles Leck training for the Lucky Twin stable, ridden by S. Rezani. And